If your eBay store is fairly new and you don't have a lot of feedback on there, you don't have a lot of traction, you don't have a lot of sales, and you want to boost all those things up, then stick around because this video might be for you. So I mainly want to get into how to get more feedback. That is one of the questions that I was presented with on one of my comments in one of my videos, and I really want to bring that up because it was actually a really good question that piggybacked to another conversation from someone else wanting to know these things. So I definitely wanted to talk about them because I'm pretty sure this is happening to a lot of people. So in my past year of selling, I've learned so much about selling, not only how to gain feedback, how to boost up my sales, how to get more profit per sale. So that's what this channel is mainly about. It's for us newer sellers that really don't want to get stuck in the $10 to $15 profits. You want to be making more than that. And one of the ways to do that is to gain more feedback. Now, I only have 98 feedback in my store, and it's been open since about 2021. I started with Pokemon cards. It wasn't really that big of like a reselling thing. I just wanted to make some extra money. And Pokemon cards were crazy good at the time. I have a huge collection. It was time to sell them. I didn't know what I was doing on eBay. I just set up my cards to what I thought was what they were selling for. I didn't know anything about sell-through rates. So that's why on my eBay, because my eBay is linked everywhere, you can see just what I'm selling. It says it's been open since 2021, but I didn't really start this eBay journey up until October of 2022. So in that time is where I've gained these 98 feedbacks. So my number one tip, if you really want to gain more feedback so people can see that you're a trustworthy seller, is buy all of your shipping supplies on eBay. Buy the little things that you buy and use and need every day, whether that be bubble wrap, poly mailers, the plastic bags to keep your poly mailers if in inventory, if you do clothing, all the little things that you use for your shipping on a day-to-day basis, get it from eBay. eBay and Amazon, they have very good rates on their bubble wrap. A lot of people just go to American Bubble Boy because it's of the fast return. You get like sometimes you get it like 2 or 3 days later, and that's awesome because a lot of people do sell hard goods and they go through bubble wrap crazy fast. And if that works for you, for sure do that. But if you're just starting out and you're trying to get all your materials, get it on eBay. Yes, Amazon does have some comparable rates. I'm building an Amazon storefront where I'll show you guys all the stuff I get, and I'll make a video announcement to tell you guys that it's up. But in the beginning, I do recommend eBay. I still get my bubble wrap from eBay. My last shipment of bubble wrap came from eBay. I got it for like 33 bucks. So it's very comparable to Amazon and to the American Bubble Boy or whatever it's called. But you get automatic feedback. Right when you purchase something from these big companies, they send you automatic feedback. And it doesn't matter if it's as a buyer or as a seller, you get that positive feedback to your store. So that's one way. And I'm not the only one giving this advice. J-Ride and some other sellers give this advice, and I started doing it and it's definitely paid off. Now remember, I only have like 97 or 98 feedback. One of them is negative. That's why my rating is just a little bit lower, because I was so silly back in the day. It was a fraudulent negative feedback, and I didn't know how much I could fight that. I just asked for a revision from the author, and it was fraudulent, so obviously they weren't going to do anything. I sold a keyboard. They said the tab key wasn't working. It was working. It was my keyboard. I just didn't want it anymore because I got like a new computer and all that stuff. But yeah, so it was definitely fraudulent. I didn't know all the ins and outs of eBay, so now I have to wait the year for that to fall off. Had I known that I could contact eBay and they could take it off for me, I for sure would have done it. But other than that, I have like 98 positive feedback, and it's all mainly from doing great transactions. Every time I get a sale, I do the best that I can to, even if it's a $5 sale or a $100 sale, I package it up the same way. One thing I do is include a thank you note. So I have my example here. And I wanted to show you guys just how it doesn't have to be anything crazy. You don't have to go out and buy them from like Vistaprint or from eBay as well, because they do offer like thank you notes and stuff. All I did was literally write it up small enough so that 3 fit on a page, and then I just print it. Now I printed the old school way. Maybe a thermal printer might work. I just haven't tried it out. I do want to change up my little thank you as I've grown as a seller. Things have changed and I want to just change up my wording. But I mean, just to start it out, if you guys really want to know what my thank you note says, that might help you. And I wrote, "Thank you for shopping with Thrift and Dirty. Your purchase is truly appreciated and I hope you enjoy it as much as I did packing it together for you. If you are satisfied with your purchase and wouldn't mind taking a minute out of your day to leave me some positive feedback, it would really help show my customers that I am a trustworthy and dependable seller. It doesn't have to be a long paragraph. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns pertaining to your order, please message me via the platform it was purchased on." And then I also include, don't forget to follow me on my socials because I do social media. But you obviously, if you don't do social media and you are just a seller, that's all you really have to put. Something along those lines. You can even just do, "Thank you so much for your purchase. I would really appreciate it if you left some positive feedback." Something like that. It doesn't have to be anything too long. I just wanted to make it short enough so that it would all fit on a page and it was just easy to print out a couple at a time. And then I just cut them up. You don't have to order a whole bunch of like thank you cards from like Vistaprint or anything like that. You can if you want to. That definitely makes your business look a lot more business-like. But a simple thank you like this has generated me the 98 feedback that I have today. Because I started this from like probably not my first sale, but I could say in the first 10 sales, I started this thank you note, and I'm pretty sure it's paid off. I get a whole bunch of orders that don't leave any feedback, and that's okay too. But you don't want to push feedback either, which is why my tip of just getting that automatic feedback to your store definitely helps. Because if you're already going to buy that bubble wrap, if you're already going to buy those poly mailers, why don't you buy them from there? You're gonna get the positive feedback. It's gonna help your store. I would definitely go that route, because like I said, I still purchase some of my cleaning supplies from there, some of my shipping supplies. I just got some boxes from eBay because I typically ship a lot of things in 10 by 6 by 8 boxes, or whatever the dimensions are. So I use those boxes typically a lot. So I figured it was a good expense towards my business to just buy a bunch of boxes like that. Typically, if you have a store subscription, you get a coupon a quarter for shipping supplies, and I'll typically use that on boxes, tape, whatever I need at the time from eBay. That also generates automatic positive feedback. So, you know, just keep that in mind next time you need shampoo, a razor, I don't know, whatever you use every day, and your shipping supplies. Don't be afraid to shop on eBay for those things. So tip number 1 is buy all your shipping supplies on eBay. Now, I would say tip number 2 is definitely have a thank you note. It doesn't have to be anything crazy elaborate. Just have a thank you note. Thank your customer for shopping with you, for buying your item, and yeah, take care of the shipping. I don't care if it's a $2 sale or a $100 sale. You want to ship it out just the same as the $100 sale. And that piece of advice goes a long way, because everything that you're going to ship, you're going to take care of it. Your customers are going to be happy. They're going to more likely leave positive feedback. Tip number 3, if you buy something from eBay, leave them feedback. You're wanting to get feedback all the time yourself. Why don't you leave feedback for someone else? And then they might reply back to your feedback, or they might leave positive feedback to you. That also helps too. I notice a lot of sellers that buy from these platforms don't leave feedback. And I'm like, why are you crying for feedback if you don't do the same thing yourself? So definitely always leave feedback. Start practicing with Amazon. If you purchase a lot on Amazon, you get those emails like rate your transaction with them, practice with them. And whenever you do buy something from eBay, leave them positive feedback. They might leave you something. Now, these big companies that ship out the bubble wrap and the poly mailers, they might not reply back to you, and you might not need to send them positive feedback. If you got it super fast, maybe just say, hey, super fast shipping. That's awesome. But definitely leave the feedback that you so desire. Now, part 2 is generating more sales. and that's a whole nother ball game. I'm gonna make specific videos for sell-through rates and the reseller formula, but I'm gonna touch on it on this video because it is part of boosting up your sales. So if you want those specific videos, they'll be out as well, but this is an all-in-one. You get all of my information in one. So to boost your sales on eBay, even as a new seller, you don't have to have crazy feedback. As long as you have good items, your items will sell. I don't care if you have 20 items in your shop. If they're all good, high sell-through rate items, they're gonna sell before the 90 days and you're gonna run out of items, which is an amazing problem to have. And that's kind of where I wanna be at. I wanna have like 300 items in my store that keep selling and I can't get past the 300. And that's what we're gonna be talking about right now. So with faster selling items, you really wanna get down the reseller formula and looking up comps. Now, the reseller formula is mainly geared towards clothing in a sense, but it can work for many, many categories. I heard of the reseller formula from many resellers, mainly Chris at Peak, if you guys know him from TikTok. He talked about the reseller formula a lot for his clothing sales, and I really latched onto that concept because it does help for many categories. I started out in clothing. I am branching out into other categories now that I'm seeing that here in the Bay Area, clothing just doesn't work as well for me as many other sellers around the country. But the reseller formula still stands. So the reseller formula in clothing is good brand, good material, good size. So you can use that for many, many things. Let me show you an example of what I'm saying when it comes to the reseller formula for clothing. So I have this Z Zegna blazer. Great pickup at the thrift. I got it for like $12 or something. Yeah. Great pickup at the thrift. I think I got it for like $12. So this is a great brand, which is a Z Zegna. There's the tag right there so you guys can see. And typically with blazers are definitely an item that you should be looking for. Again, a bolo. If you don't know what bolo means, it's be on the lookout for. It's a term that we use a lot in the reselling community. So blazers is a clothing item I still will pick up. So definitely don't skip your blazer section. I highly recommend it. So blazers have this like material tag in one of the pockets, and that'll give you all the information that you need. Typically it'll have like the style of what it is and what it's made out of. So here I don't know if you guys can see this right here, but here we see that it's made out of wool, and that the lining is like rayon. So this is a good pickup because of the material. And it's 16% mohair, which I've come to find out in the comments of another video that is like fine goat or rabbit or something like that. So that was an interesting thing to find out. The size is also really good. It's a 54L, 54 long. So that's also something that you want to look for. So that there we have good brand, Z Zegna, good material, wool and mohair blend, and good size, a 54L. So this one, I set it at, I think like 70 or 80. I don't remember what I comped it at. But yeah, this was definitely a good grab, especially for the $12 that I got it at. So again, reseller formula recap is good brand, good material, good size. Now that's for clothing, which a lot of us sellers do sell clothes. If you find something good clothing wise, definitely pick it up, but that's the formula that you kind of want to base all of your grabs on. Is it a good brand? Is it a good material? Is it a good size? Now, yeah, it might be all of those things. Now, does it actually sell? And that is where we move on to part 2, which is actually finding the sell-through rate. Now, finding the sell-through rate of an item can be very difficult or very easy depending on what item you're looking for. Clothing, because it's a little bit more saturated, typically has a lower sell-through rate because there's a lot of clothing sellers. That's typically what we get into when we start reselling. You have old clothes in your closet that you don't want to sell. You start watching YouTube and you see all these clothing sellers picking up clothing. It kind of hurts the market a little bit. Am I saying that they're doing anything wrong? 100% no. They're making their money and they're showing you how to make money. Now it's up to you to figure out and fine tune like, oh, they're picking this up, but at what price point? And does that price point compare to what I'm picking it up at to see what I can get the price for? And that is where a lot of sellers either make it or they fail and go out of business. So finding sell-through rates, it's literally searching up an item and seeing how much are listed versus how much are sold. And that'll give you the formula. So the way that you find the sell-through rate is you find how many items have sold, divide that by how many items are listed, and that'll equal your sell-through rate. To find the sell-through rate, you type in the item that you're looking for. So let me give you a perfect example. This ninja blender. I am turning into the ninja queen and I'm flipping these ninjas like crazy. What I like to do is part it out, but that's another video. I'm going to be breaking down this bolo of ninja blenders, so stay tuned for that video. But yeah, let me give you this example of this lid that I just sold another one of. So it's I literally put in ninja 72 ounce pitcher lid. And with that, you get, I'm not sure what the going rates are for these lids right now, so I'm just going to make up numbers. Someone check me. Let's just say that there are 10 listed of these, right? So you search on eBay and you find that there's 10 of these listed. Great. Now you're going to filter over to the sold listings and you're going to see that there's 20 sold. So what does that tell you? That tells you that it has a 200% sell-through rate, and you definitely want to pick up this item. Now, in that research, the true selling rate of this item and how much it's going for, because you want to base what you're selling your items on the solds, not what they're listed, because anyone can list. I can list this at $1,000 and, you know, no one's ever going to buy it, right? You can list whatever you want at whatever price. But if you're not looking at what they're selling for on eBay in this market, you're not going to be as successful as you want to be. So what you do is you filter by the solds, you see how much it's selling for. This is selling for an average of like 25, 30 bucks. And you see a lot of them are selling for $30, $32, $25. So if you want to make a fast sell, set this at $24, $23. If you want to wait a little bit and get your money's worth, which is what I typically do with these because people do pay, set it for like 30 and you'll get your 30. So, yeah, sell-through rates are how many items are listed versus how many they are sold. So you literally put in, there's 10 listed divided by the 20 that have sold, and that'll give you your sell-through rate. Another great example, again, I'm throwing these numbers just off of the top of my head. These aren't actual bolo comps or any comps whatsoever. I'm just giving you guys fast math to make this easy. So there are 40 of these pitchers listed and 60 sold. So you're going to put 40 divided by the 60 and you'll get your sell-through rate. And I'll pick up items that have an 80 plus sell-through rate. Sometimes, once in a while, if the price is right, I'll get like less than 80% sell-through rate items to keep some items in my store, but I don't really want to be a store that has a huge 2,000 item store. I want to keep it as small as possible, trying to find the best as possible. Now, is that going to happen every week at the thrift and at yard sales? 100% no. So that's why you pick up those lower rate sell-through rate items, but don't pick up crazy low sell-through rate. Like I probably wouldn't go below 60, probably, because even 50 is too much of a gamble for me. From coming from clothing and how slow of a sell-through rate that was for me, I don't like those numbers anymore. So I'll probably pick things that are like 60 is absolutely my lowest, and it's got to be something good that I don't mind waiting on and sitting on. I have a place in my shelf, or I already have a bin, something like that, that is just, I know I'm going to get that money within at least the 90 days, which is what you want to aim for. A really fast sell is about 14 days. So don't be upset if your item doesn't sell within the first 3 days. A fast sell is usually 14 days. A decent sell is 30 to 60, and an okay, I'm never going to pick this up again sell, at least for me, is 90 and above. So that gives you a bit of a starting point. Fast sell-through rate items, the reseller formula, and getting that automatic positive feedback from buying your shipping materials will definitely boost up your store. Now, that I would say is like the golden 3 for beginners. Find fast selling items, understand the reseller formula, and sell through rates. You really want to get sell through rates locked into your brain as soon as you can, because I didn't really understand sell through rates even when I switched out of like clothing to more electronic type items. I would see that it had sold comps and I would grab it because I'm like, oh, it's sold, like it's gonna sell for me. No, just because it's sold in the past does not mean it's gonna sell again. And I don't care if you picked it up 2 times ago, comp it again, because the markets are going crazy fast. They go down so fast. I had Pokemon games that I was selling for $89. No, I would not even have to send out an offer. It would sell the same day. And now they're selling for $60. A perfect example is Pokemon Yellow. That was going for $89 a couple months ago, and I sold one at $89. And I just had to lower my price of another one I had from the $89 to like, I think I set it to $59. Because I kept getting offers for that, and that's something that you should always be doing. If you're getting offers for something, comp your item out again. Who knows how the market is doing on that item since you bought it, especially if you bought it a long time ago because you didn't really understand those things. Trust me, I still have items from my store where I didn't know what I was doing, and it sucks and it's so embarrassing, and I just want to get rid of those things. But that's how you learn. That's how you learn, especially in this game. So I guess to not continue rambling, because I typically love to ramble, as you'll see in a lot of my videos, I go on tangents a lot, but I'm really trying to like stay in this lane for you guys. Fast sell through rate, the reseller formula, automatic positive feedback, and those things as newer sellers will boost your sales up, because people do want to see that positive feedback. Before I really started on eBay, when I bought on eBay, I wanted to see how you were as a seller. So I would definitely check that positive feedback. So if people saying that deters buyers, I think it does, because it did deter me from between picking one and another. I'm pretty sure I've paid up a few times between one seller or another because they had positive feedback. So it pays off in the long run. Get that positive feedback, get those things that you typically get anyways from Amazon or any other place, Office Depot, wherever you buy your shipping supplies. Buy it on there for a time. It doesn't have to be forever. Just get at least 100 positive feedbacks in your store, and then you can go back to doing what you were doing. I typically comp out between eBay and Amazon on buying my shipping materials. And again, I'll be making my Amazon storefront to show you guys the things that I get that have helped me in my business. I won't put anything on there that I haven't used, so you guys know that you're getting exactly what I'm using. So if you guys have any questions, if you guys want me to explain something a little bit more, make a one-off video off of one of these things, I will be making a reseller formula and a sell-through rate video, so definitely be on the lookout for that one. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, I typically answer back within 24 hours, sometimes a little bit sooner, depending on what I got going on in my day. So drop them in the comments, and I'll probably make a video about it if it's a great question, just like this one was. And even if you're just saying hi, thanks for the information, I love those comments just as much as I do any crazy question. Love you guys.